MoneyBoy. Trade. MoneyBoy. Trade. Private jet flights overseas. Damn pieces coming by the week.
I'll just show it. You try to use words.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome to this exciting episode today. As you can see, we have a full house panel today, and I have all these gentlemen up here, and we're gonna have an interesting topic today. We're gonna talk about what do men and women bring to the table. Now, the reason why I wanted to have this topic today and bring a full house panel is because this has been one of the hot topics on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and everywhere, especially since that guy Kevin Samuels been kind of bringing this up a lot lately. But that's either here nor there. But let me go ahead and allow these gentlemen to introduce themselves, and we're gonna go ahead and jump right on to the show. Okay, starting with MoneyBoy Trey first, and we just work our way down.
What's going on? My name is MoneyBoy Trey. I'm nothing special. I'm just a nigga on YouTube. Go subscribe to my channel as spelled below. I need the subs. Like, share, subscribe, or you ain't blessed.
What's up? I'm Mr. Mad Militant. You know what I'm saying? I just get mad for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Come check me out on my channel. You know what I'm saying? See breaking news, top news stories, and find out what I'm mad about. You know what I'm saying?
What up? My name is Rush. It's short for Russian Roulette. You know what I mean? And I'm here to, broach the topic and you know what I mean? Let you know what it is, you heard?
Boop, boop, boop.
Well, go ahead, Dennis, while Shy is on sabbatical.
Yeah,
hey man, I ain't got no YouTube or nothing like that. So I don't need to introduce nothing.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Well, he doesn't have a YouTube. He just keeping it real. He's just a nigga on YouTube too.
Yep. He gonna have one on channel pretty soon called Dennis the Menace Show.
I've been trying to get the nigga to start when he's lazy.
I ain't lazy. I just want get y'all views up. I'm here to promote.
Started, and you know what I'm saying? Just like we were talking about sports just then. You know what I'm saying? We'll come check you out. We'll be talking about sports.
For sure. Well, I don't want to delay anything. Let's go ahead and jump right onto this topic now. Now, gentlemen, what do we bring to the table? Let's be real about it.
Everything.
Like what?
Security, protection, comfort, leadership, stability, finances. What else you want?
So that ain't
we can
about me.
build houses. We can do plumbing. We cut the grass, clean gutters. We everything.
Great foresight. Plenty of things, just like you said.
Plenty of things, huh? And what do y'all think women bring to the table?
Pussy and problems. Done DeMarco.
Man, why did I ask? So y'all think women bring anything more than just that?
That's pretty much
it depends on the dynamic of the relationship. You know what I mean? Are we talking about the 50-50 role type joint? Or are we talking about the old school traditional joint where the man takes the lead, handles all the bills, knocks up the check, stays home, does all the house duties? Like which one we talking about?
Man, we talking about it in general. Yo, George, Chit Chat, pull up. We need a woman on the panel. We need your perspective as well.
I thought she was gonna be too busy to do this show tonight.
Yeah, because these all the men up here, they're saying that they bring everything to the table. The only thing the woman bring to the table is PUSSY.
Pussy and problems. I just
I'm kidding. What's up?
But now we talking Rush. We just talking about in general. We're talking about in general.
In general, yeah, I mean, the dude, I mean, if he's not a piece of shit, obviously he's gonna be bringing finances, guidance, protection, and all that good stuff. The fundamental basics what a man's supposed to do in a relationship. I mean,
All right. I feel you. True. What about you, Dennis?
I bring hard dick to the table. That's what I got.
This nigga is stupid.
And he on the panel full of
So
dudes.
you don't bring much at all.
Okay.
I bring everything I've listed, but I just had to add extra onto that. Y'all didn't mention what the necessary was. Some hard dick. You said finance, stability, all that shit, head of household.
I think every man brings hard dick, just like we said women bring pussy and problems.
Well, I had to elaborate what you bring to the table.
I think we might be leaving out we leaving out a few things though.
Or like what?
Because you know what I'm saying. I mean, how many women out here actually got loyal men?
A lot.
You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa.
Say, I've not heard men don't cheat.
What do you consider loyal?
I'm
one of those people. I don't feel like cheating doesn't mean you're not loyal to a person. So what is loyal? What do you mean by loyal?
Damn, only one loyal. You know what I'm saying?
That's not loyal. That's monogamy. Two different words.
Two different words.
Yes, because I mean, as I ask all women, if I'm taking care of your every want and need, which is impossible because I'm not perfect, why can't I fuck other people? If everything you want in life is cool, you happy, all of that good shit, why can't I fuck other people?
Urban therapist, you should tell her to cam up.
Who, Miss V?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Miss V, come on the panel because we do need a woman.
You got to drop the link on Facebook then for us, sir.
I'll be in the one. My bad. I kind of sort of do need to do that, huh? There you go.
And I don't think I can. I don't have a rent, so I don't think it'll let me drop the StreamYard link in YouTube.
Dennis, this is supposed to be a PG.
You did it on YouTube. Now you got to do it on Facebook.
No, it dropped on both Facebook and YouTube at the same time.
She ain't gonna be able to click it.
She did it the last time, I think, when she was came up.
They may have integrated the system. Let me back up.
Everybody, welcome to the panel, Miss Joy Chit Chat. Hey, Miss Joy.
Hello.
Now, Miss Joy, we got a panel full of dudes on here saying that they bring everything to the table, and the one thing that a woman brings to the table is her body and problems. So how you feel about that?
What's the age range?
It don't matter. That's in general.
I think it does matter when it comes to the age, especially when you're saying who's bringing what to the table.
As far as what you mean by age.
Are you talking about a younger woman? They're not going to really bring too much to the table. But what you guys are saying, the 2 Ps, I think Trey said.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, the majority of the panel, that's what they're saying.
I just seen that Trick Daddy had a moment where he says older women need to lower their standards. So I don't know what they're going to bring to the table if they lower their standards.
More pussy, older pussy and problems.
I mean, it depends on. I guess it would depend on the person and what that other person needs. You know.
Yeah, like what, Matt? Depend on like what?
I don't know. Sometimes it's just stability. You know what I'm saying? If you got somebody with a 10-age difference and stuff like that, the person older might be more settled and know how to get control of situations that the other person might not know how to. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody perfect and everybody's lacking. It's about finding what combination fits you best to make you more what's the word I'm looking for?
More
Complete.
compatible.
I was that popped in my head, but that wasn't what I was really trying to say. Well, let me see. I can't get it out.
Complete.
No, not complete. As far as what do you know what I'm saying? Where that double feed come from? But as far as you know what I'm saying, if you're in like if you add a person to a team, you know what I'm saying? How do they help the team?
Compatible.
You know what I'm saying? Compatible? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
complete, compatible.
Okay, we'll go with compatible.
Integrate into the team.
I'm in the building.
So
Hey, what's up, Shaw?
How y'all doing? How's everybody doing this evening? I had to do a little chores real quick, but yeah. So I just heard the brother say compatible. Is that the things that the brothers are bringing to the table, or we as men supposed to bring
We
to the
bring
table?
everything, sir. Everything.
I don't know. They put those words in my mouth. I was looking for another word, but I couldn't come up with it, so we just stuck with the word compatible.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Man. In my opinion, I think one of the giveaways in a conversation like this is the general term, like in terms of what men should be doing and what women will is or what women should be bringing to the table. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think that when it comes to a certain degree of what a person wants, it don't even matter what the person is bringing to the table. Is just a question of, does it make the person feel good? Does it make the relationship productive? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the way I look at it. It's like yo, it's just like King, the
Matter
video
of
that
fact,
you
that's
had.
the word I was looking for. Productive.
Yeah, I mean, is it
Oh, that's
productive?
that Kevin Samuels word.
Yo, let's
Okay.
say like prime example, like the video that you showed, the Father's Day video, where the brother was playing a video game, and then his wife brought some gifts to him. He didn't
Yeah.
expect the gifts, but the type of woman that he married in her, he was like that was like he was already satisfied with the relationship as it is. So when she brought the extra for the Father's Day, it was like, oh, okay, let me turn the game off and let me entertain what you're about to, or celebrate with you what you're about to give me. But at the same token, the relationship was productive for him. He didn't even expect that. So I'm just saying, as far as like for ladies and for women and for men, if a man wants a certain type of female and is productive for him as well as productive for her, and it keeps the relationship going and flowing, I mean, is it that's the most important part of the relationship, whether it's whether it's producing anything. So I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, because it's just like when we was using the example of the other guy who has a show pertaining to the man's point of the man's view. I don't know. No, it's not the man's view. It's the fact that he put it like this. He's supposed to be the model or the role model of today's conceptual idea of what a man should be, or I guess whatever. He has
No, he's
women that
not.
that's
You
what's his
talking
name?
about Kevin Samuels?
That's what it right. He's supposed to be like
No,
the
it's
model
not.
for what? What is he? The model for what? Black men or the
No,
model?
he's just a nigga he's an arrogant Negro. He's an old nigga that got some money late and now he arrogant. But he's
He's a
not
Nah,
supposed to
hold
be
on.
the model for us.
he's a country
Nah,
girl.
now hold on. Now stay right there. I just want to show y'all something. He's now I messed that up. But what I am saying is this. He fits a model. He fits a model, just like the basketball housewives fit the model of working class street females. You see what I'm saying? Like they're no different than the females that drug dealers would come across in the streets. The only difference is that they manage to find their hustle with NBA players that's getting ballers that's getting contracts with basketball. The same type of mentality. The only difference is they got a degree to back them up, and they have the ability to get a job, fill out a resume and an application, and they have the credentials to back them up. But they the same chicks that you will find with the poverty of a mind state that want the hood type of guy. The only difference is the stability and the security lies in the dude that's getting the contract or that
Well,
has
now
the job.
the only difference would be the women have degrees and shit that you said they have.
Yeah, that's the only difference. I mean, a piece of paper. I mean, shit.
Yeah, it's something that the hood chicks didn't decide to do. That's what that bitch brought to the table when she met the baller. She had a degree. She said, "Baby, I know how to run business, so I can do this or that. I can help you."
That's a fact. That's a fact. And she took her hustle to the level of she probably came from the hood and said, you know what? My stability is not in these dudes that's in the hood, because all they are is taking a risk. They're gonna be locked up and they're gonna leave them chicks out there with babies. So they said, you know what? I gotta change my hustle and put my down payment on a long-term goal with dudes that I know where their money is coming from. And that was the switch from the ballers in the hood to the ballers in the college that's getting those contracts. Same mentality, female, same type of chick. Because you get a dude that's getting money, no matter a lot of times when a person is successful, the female don't even question.
Yeah, but not any hood chick could manage to swindle their way into a ball player's pockets. They gotta be aesthetically on that level. You know what I mean?
Truth. Right. That's the truth.
Or you gotta
That's
be
the
like
truth.
Savannah James and just kiss the nigga in middle school and stay down.
Yep.
And listen, and don't let the brain power and the Poo-Tang be like a glove, because that's a no-brainer right there. I mean,
that's white.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the person to work for that, and they'll feel good because it matches what they're looking for in the female. So I mean, it's all even with the females. Like when we look at the concept of what females are looking for, the different roles. Some females like the dominant figure. Some females like the. It's all about what they want, man, and it's all about what the men want, and it's all about what the female want.
Yeah, but but peep game though. In this day and age, man, a lot of these average chicks, they looking for the top 20%ers. You know what I mean? They overlook the regular nigga. You know what I mean? The nigga that working at UPS. You know what I mean?
That nigga ain't trying to shoot for
electrician.
Beyonce.
That's what I'm saying, is that when you listen to the hip hop music from back then, it was songs that was talking about the same thing today. The nigga, please, you work for UPS. Well, it's like when they was trying to do their thing, and it's just like in the streets. Like nobody wants to deal with the regular 9 to 5. They want the dudes that can push the Benz. They want the BMWs. They want those car notes. They want that type of. They got videos right now where they showing a dude that's sitting on the curb. He got a Lambo parked not too far from him on the curb. He holler at the chick, and the first response from the chick is saying, "Yo, stop talking to me. I don't want to talk to you." Then he'd be like, "All right, yo, listen, I holler at you." And then he starts walking to the car, and then the girl be like, yo, that's your car. He like, yeah, you want to ride?
Yeah, I
She,
seen that. I seen that.
yeah,
The
Yeah,
gold digger
yeah,
print.
yeah, the gold digger joint. So it's been
yeah.
like that, bro. It's been like that. It's been like that. It's been like that. So I'm just
Yeah, yeah,
saying,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. It's been like that, but now,
We just
um,
smash
in
chicks
this
like that now.
in this day and age, it's like yo, women exercise hypergamy on steroids. It was bad. It was bad back then, but it's worse right now. You know what I mean?
right,
I mean,
yeah,
but who's
right.
really paying those girls any mind though?
Nobody. Niggas is just smashing them.
That's the,
Uh,
Oh,
that's the,
you, I know you just like me because of this car. I'm just gonna fuck you and keep going about my business. Everybody taking her
that,
serious.
that's the truth. The only people I see that's actually curbing or cuffing those type of that mentality of females is dudes that probably that it's one or two things that they have an
They're
addictive
paying for it.
personality. Yeah, and they paying for it. So they like they that exactly. You hit it right there on the nose. They paying for it, or they have that addiction where to the point where they never had it before. They never had it. Like he was a lemon, and now all of a sudden, now that
Yeah, he
he's a lemon,
paying for it. He paying for his girlfriend.
that's a
Still be his
fact.
girlfriend, but he paying for it.
That's a
Those the
fact.
only type of niggas that's wiping those girls up.
Can I ask you brothers a question?
Go ahead,
Yeah,
break it
rich
down.
suckers. We
How do
call
y'all
those rich suckers.
how do you guys feel about black women out earning and out educating us as as black men?
It's the myth.
is I have no
Yo,
problem
let me
with
tell
that
you something, man.
because
Yo, hold on. Let me
it's
say this, man. Hold on. Let me say this real quick. Yo, don't fall into the hype, man. Any chick that went to college, you know that debt comes with that shit. And if she got a kid, yo, she straight broke, man. Word of my miss. She just
Right.
she
It's
she
from
a
just
myth,
breaking even
Dennis.
right now. You heard?
It's a
from,
myth,
from
Dennis, that they out earn us and that they're more educated. But even the ones that are, I'm not intimidated by it.
Hell no,
no,
me
because
neither.
Yeah, me
most
neither.
of them most of them don't know what to do with that money once they get it. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's my whole
and,
key.
and that's where we come into play. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If we already know that they're making more, you know what I'm saying, and everything is gelling, you know what I'm saying, y'all rocking together and shit like that, you're gonna teach her how to make different moves and stuff like that to make her money come. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a street nigga. And you see
That's
all this daggone money coming in and you trying to stay out of that shit. Oh no, we can
that's
do it this way over here. You know what I'm saying? I can do
wait,
this over here. You know what I'm saying? You or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? If
that's
I
a
was
fact.
making the money and she was on the back end, what can you do? I'm making this money. What can you do? Can you sew? Can you do? Can you make pies? Can you know what I'm saying?
That's a
hmm
fact. That's a
It's
fact.
back.
And
It's
it
back.
don't and it don't and it don't take much. It don't take much unless a person winds up getting one of these um control freak type of individuals where they feel like they wanna uh keep an individual on what they call a not a salary what's that a person gives to their kids every weekend like
An
an
allowance.
allowance.
allowance, right? And unless they want to try to treat their man like a kid and give them an allowance, and they feel that they incapable of being a partner in that type of business relationship. But hey, a guy like me,
Oh,
listen. I would
man,
love
give
to
me an
find
allowance.
somebody. Yeah, shit.
I'm gonna
You
make
got
that shit work. Watch
Well,
that
let me
shit.
let me
oh
let me let me let me let me you know let me interject real quick with that. You know what I mean? A lot of the times when women have this career, a lot of times they link up with the bum nigga because he's able to control what he does. You know what I mean? A lot of
right,
times, women like that, they prey on niggas that don't got nothing so they could be the head of the household. Yeah, I mean, a chick that probably got her bachelor's in psychology or whatever might not holler at me because I mean, one, if you're gonna link up with me, you gotta be fit. You know what I mean? work out like 4 days a week. She might be overweight and she knows she ain't shit. So she ain't gonna fuck with a nigga like me. She gonna fuck with the bum nigga because she's able to control that nigga. You know what I mean? I got a decent career. I got my own bread, my own spot. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
But see, you can't say that either, because you can meet a chick like that and you can encourage her to get herself together. And that shows you where her head is at if she actually get it done. That's coming from experience.
Yeah, and both of y'all are correct, because both of y'all are just speaking about the types. Because I agree with both of y'all. I agree that you have those. Listen, I'm gonna share something. When I was incarcerated, most of the guys, especially in New York State, we get trailer visits. I don't know how it is in other states, but in the state, I'm not talking about the feds. I'm talking about in the state penitentiary. A lot of guys get trailers. There's trailers, right? What they call FRPs, Family Reunion Program. So my whole point is that a lot of guys would go on those FRPs. The FRPs is every 90 days. The point that I'm making is that a lot of guys, majority of the guys that was getting FRPs, it wasn't because the female was feeling them. A lot of guys was getting FRPs because it was a sense of security for the female, and that the guy that she can come and see and treat him like a child, as far as every 30 days he gets a package. She knows where he's at. She's in her mind saying, it ain't no females around. She don't feel insecure. And that was a place where she knows exactly what, because they know that one thing is that if he was out, chances are he'll be out and about. And then she would be more or less concerned about where he would be at. So she had
it sounds like it's a self-esteem type issue type joint, man.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I'm hip to that. Yo, how long was your bid?
My bid was 25 joints.
Damn, fam.
Yeah. 25.
I don't want to ask no more questions, you know what I mean? Because I'd be dry snitching, you heard?
Nah, it ain't nothing though. But I came out. My whole thing is that, I came well off because, you know what I'm saying? I'm a vice president of a consulting agency, and I'm a talk show host for a blog talk radio program called Neo Nation. So I came off real well. I was well prepared. I'm still in the transition mode. And basically, in a nutshell, it wasn't, I took a loss, but at the same token, I gained skills and tools that were necessary for my transformation, as well as my transition into the work environment, as well as the society, as well as my home environment. So, I mean, I did a lot of things that were productive. I went to college while I was incarcerated, learned how to play the keyboard, played instruments. I'm a sign language interpreter by trade, freelancing. Speak like maybe like couple of languages. Spanish is one of them a little bit. So pretty much I didn't and I'm fortunate. You know what I'm saying? I was fortunate to the degree where I decided, for me, instead of having a relationship, I would prefer to take my time to deal with myself, to start. I didn't want to get involved with the aspects of a relationship with someone else without first healing myself and repairing and working on myself and getting my priorities together, because I understood
basically, in a nutshell, you're just trying to edify yourself.
Pretty much. And not only that, it was very important, very important for me to not only discover the things about myself that I was learning, but also to know what I wanted. And when I do get in a relationship, know what I'm looking for, so that it doesn't become a challenge. And I have to know where I'm going, and I have to know why I'm getting myself involved with a relationship, and what is the purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a responsibility, so that's one of the things I started to handle is first having my relationship with myself. You know what I'm saying? Get myself
I can already tell by how you speak, man. You a man of principle and morals, man. And I mean,
Right.
Yo, in this day and age, a lot of women, they're not attracted to that. You know what I mean?
Right. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. But like you said, um, getting those principles in order and putting them in a way where I have to live by those. I have to keep myself according. I have to hold myself to those standards. And when I hold myself to those standards and I don't fall short, then I know exactly what I'm looking for from a partner, or looking for from a if it even if it's just a hit and run, I'm able to say, yo, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah,
ain't coming over here. If we going to the hotel, we go straight to the telly. You knock, you do your thing, knock, and I'm about my business. You go about your business. I ain't with the headaches, the hassles, and none of that, the control, and none of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you said, it's being able to set the tone, because I know exactly what I want for myself, and I know basically I know I know where I'm going, I know how I'm going to get there, and I know where I came from. So I can't afford to be playing games. Failure is not an option for me, and I got to make sure that I have a vision for what I want my life to be. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, I have to know that. I
And
have
that's
to.
what it takes to be a good leader, man. Is to have that vision. Because most niggas, they ain't got a vision. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
They all cattle, and they just do what's the wave. You know what I mean?
Right,
I mean,
right,
I mean,
and it's the truth.
in a way, that's not bad. It's just they wasn't given the proper tools to be
Right,
that
Yeah.
way. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
right,
if they was growing up and stuff, and certain things wasn't given to them and stuff like that, they all gonna look scattered, where it look like they doing nothing when they actually think they should be doing something and stuff like that. You know what I'm
right,
saying? They
right,
confused.
right, right, right. It happens. It happens. It happens. It happens because of the simple fact that the school system, the our peer group, in which we learn from our peers, what we learn from our households. So everything that y'all brothers are saying is key and essential factors to our growth and development, towards the choices that we make and how we react to real life circumstances, because real life circumstances is going to dictate real life actions. So a lot of times, based on what we learn in our households, what we learn in school, what we learn from our peer group, that's going to determine a lot of our choices that we make. Sometimes, man, we have to not be afraid to reevaluate those decisions, or reevaluate those principles in which we taught ourselves, break those down, replace them with better values, and stronger and more stable principles. And it's all a growth and development process. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I come to discover about myself. And that's what I come to discover about the relationship that I want with the female that I want to settle down with, as far as long term. The growth and development aspect. Never stop growing, and never stop developing that aspect of the novelty of wanting to learn newer things, learning how to um, develop and constantly developing a long-term plan, financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, like the brother just said, like working out, doing different things to keep a balance. You know what I'm saying? A sense of a healthy relationship, and that's basically what I pride myself on, those type of principles, man, because it just makes sense, man. It just makes sense. Word.
Hey, I appreciate all y'all transparency on this panel today. Y'all actually giving people a lot of nuggets, even though y'all being as real as possible, but it's real good too. Now, I want to shift the conversation back to what Joy said earlier, and I'm put Joy on the spot now. Joy, you still there?
Yeah, I'm
You
here.
still there?
Oh, okay. All right, Joy. You mentioned earlier about the age range, right? So, what age do you believe that a woman should be at when she actually be thinking about bringing anything to the table in a relationship?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do believe it's starting to be around, and please don't crucify me. I think it's around 40 now. Women are so busy with life. I'm not talking about the baby mamas and issues in life. Everybody's so busy trying to gather and get their careers in order, and by the time they figure everything out, it could be mid-30s, early 40s. By the time they figure out they want to actually sit down and bring something to the table, but then that still leaves the men rather, because I think at that time I'm not gonna men. You guys you're figurative. You like what you like, and like Rush said, he wants a woman in the gym 2 times a week. You know what I'm saying? That's the age I
I
think it
gotta
is.
give it to you. That sounds smooth. But I can tell you this much. If you was to ask me my opinion, I'm gonna tell you this. One thing I realized, man, is one of the things I did say is that and I agree with the sister to this degree, is that not the fidgety part, but what I do agree is that a person needs to know what they want. They have to find from both the male and the female perspective. And I constantly stress this, man, because until that's established, it really don't matter what age. Because honestly speaking, like at 14 years old, when I left home, I had my own apartment. I studied, I got my learner's permit at 14 years old. And I came from a household, single parent. No financial literacy was taught in the house, but I was a go-getter. And whatever I couldn't learn from school, I would go to the library. That was one thing about me that it would just stand out. Like, even though I took a detour and was doing negative things, I embraced the fact that I was a leader, and I was able to say, win, lose, or draw, whether negative or positive, I took ownership of my actions. And that's what made me incredible in terms of my leadership. So I've always been a stand-up person. Because you know what's crazy? I didn't have both of my parents. So I didn't have the relationship where when I had a bike, someone taught me or they rode with me. I had to actually fall off the bike, and I had to learn how to ride my bike myself. And certain things stuck with me. The point that I'm trying to make is that when I'm on the internet, I usually go to YouTube. And I'm actually right now studying a female in her 20s named Tara Reid. And she's a millionaire, an entrepreneur, and she does boot camp coding, teaching individuals how to do coding. So my point is that there's a lot of young entrepreneurs right now that are in their 20s.
Oh, that's the new wave, man. Data mining. Yeah, that's the new wave right now.
That's all I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying in terms of these are the young minds that are they know what they want. And data.
So can I interject real quick?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, go ahead.
But you got to understand what the question was. What age are we willing to come? What are we bringing to the table, and what age? Not what we're doing. That was my whole point. If she's this entrepreneur at 20, she's probably not worried about bringing nothing to a table to anybody because she's busy. She's booked and busy. So by the time she figure out that she really want to sit down and settle down with something, that's why I said when Urban asked me what age, I said around about 40, because that's a tender age for women at this time. So I understand what you're saying about the young lady, but that's all.
Saying, no. What I'm saying is this, because I don't want to. I want to just basically share with you my point of view, and I understand exactly what you're saying. And all I'm saying, I'm sharing with you that, to me, once an individual, regardless of It's like prime example, bringing to the table to me is a decision that an individual decides to say, I'm going to have sex unprotected and accept the responsibility in case I get pregnant. I'm going to date, knowing the consequences of what it may entail. I'm going to go out on a date as a teenager, knowing that the chances is I might wind up having sex. I'm going to do certain things. And whether or not those to me, those are things that you bring to the table. Whether we look at it in hindsight in terms of the level, because there's different levels to this thing here. However, it's still a cause and effect, and it still causes us to make decisions and choices that's going to affect that in our future. I remember when I used to be in junior high school, just to use a compare and contrast. When I was in 9th grade, I was like 14, and there were females who were having sex unprotected, and they were getting pregnant. And so this was during junior high school. So you probably had 8th and 9th grade females that were getting pregnant, and a lot of times it was common during my youth to see that those type of things. But for the adults, they came from a generation that, especially being in New York City, it was like it kind of hit them by surprise, because most of that type of behavior to them came from people from the South. They say, I came from the South and I came to the North, which is New York City. This is unheard of, to have children at such a young age. So what my point is this: as a teenager, we started living our lives like we were adults when we were like it's crazy, right? Because a lot of the females will wear 2 types of clothes, right? The booty shaking stuff, or the tennis racket dresses that they wouldn't wear at home. They put it in their book bags, and then they'll go into the female's bathroom, and then they'll change up. Whole personality change up. Everything change up. You know who was smoking weed in the bathroom stalls. You know who was doing what. Who was getting their back dug out in the back staircase of the school and everything. So the point is that these were decisions that they were bringing to the table. And these are the decisions that eventually affected a lot of the individuals for the rest of their life. And so all I'm saying is that at 38 years old, or let's say 39, bringing something to the table in terms of, like, let's say they decide to say, I want to raise a family, or I decide to say, I want to buy me a house, or I want to settle down. Those decisions are already made. It's just the question. It's the process that's, to me, that's taking place. It's like it's an investment that we make in our future based on the choices that we make. It's just that when we're younger, sometimes it takes time for us to focus on exactly what. But I just want to be brief and just say, like, I believe is that the decisions that we make, and whether it works for us at that moment, it's already brought to the table based on the choices that we make. Once we start doing certain things and taking terms like having sex without protection, I mean, we don't think about that. But I think all of us, I would safely assume that many of us at 14 years of age, we was having sex unprotected. I could be wrong, but my guess would be that, if you ask me, I believe that everybody on this panel was having sex as a teenager, and nobody was using protection. It was something going on.
So I was using protection. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
But you was having, okay.
The girls thought I was mean. I was the bully.
Hey, hey, I
Yo,
would
I
like
had
to.
a big pull-out game, you heard? But now I'm strapped up all the time, you know what I mean?
Yo, but even
Hey, hey,
but listen to this. Listen to this real quick. Even if you was to pull out gang, a condoms bust. And so even though King, you said that, yo, yeah, I wore a condom, and I ain't gonna lie, I wore condoms sometimes, but I remember the condom busting on me. And it's just by it was just by the fact that I didn't it didn't, the seed didn't go into the condom for the seed to go into the womb of my partner. But at the same token, I was looking at it like, wow, I didn't have a child, you know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of people during that time where they had children at a young age. So that's all I'm just saying, based on our actions. So that's all I'm saying, is that those actions, our actions, bring us to the table. Once we make a decision and we make a choice, they bring us to the table. You know what I'm saying? They bring us to the table. That's all I'm saying. I don't believe that it's a matter. I think it's called, to me, I look at it as called the rites of passage. You know what I'm saying? When we decide to make that decision, and we claim it as our own, we walk in that rites of passage of maturity, of growth and development, of claiming it as ours, as our own, and it's taking us to our path of who we're going to become in the future. That's all I'm saying.
hey, y'all. I would like to welcome to the panel Dr. Ron Jefferson and also PMP, part of my presence. What's up, y'all?
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Doing okay.
What up, part of my presence? What up? Salute to you, Doc. What's good?
What's happening, Rush?
Yeah, you know, everything's everything. Can't complain.
Hey everybody. Hopefully everybody's doing good. I'm sitting back listening to this conversation. It's pretty interesting. Everybody out here having sex in high school, huh? That's what y'all doing?
Well, I know that's what I was doing.
I was having sex in high school, but it was definitely protected.
I was doing it protected, not protected.
The risk taker there, huh?
Yeah, I was taking the risk, man. I'm not even gonna hold it.
I didn't have sex until when I was 18, though, to be honest.
I didn't have sex until
urban therapist. I'm
marriage.
just here so I don't get fined.
Hey, man.
Yeah, you cool, Joy. You cool. Yeah. Just know, even though it's a panel full of dudes, this is a safe space.
You safe. This is the safe zone. You're in the safe zone.
I don't know. You know, a couple of them look toxic. Dennis, you out here? Like you was having sex in high school.
Oh,
absolutely, what do you mean?
Just kidding.
I wasn't.
He said absolutely.
Dennis, you was smashing in high school too?
Absolutely.
Oh man.
I have an 18-year-old next one.
That's a rite of passage.
Dr. Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Jefferson, I was going to leave Dennis the Menace alone tonight. I was going to leave him alone tonight. He was on his best behavior.
I don't know. I see you on his best behavior, but I saw he was, he was quiet. He was silent. He never said nothing. So I was like, maybe Dennis was preserving himself.
No, I was just giving Big Shy his just due on the floor. You know, he was speaking for quite a long time. It was a little long.
Yeah, that man, he got a talent and everything. He was preaching tonight.
Oh, man.
Wiping all that sweat off.
Yeah. I gotta get, wipe the sweat off. It's kind of hot, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It's a little hot, but it's cooling down. It rained a little bit in New York City, so it's kind of like cooled down. But I'm just enjoying. I'm enjoying the symposium that we have, and I'm enjoying it.
All right, so I do have another question for the panel too. We're going to shift it again a little bit. Now, Kevin Samuels, right? I don't mean to bring him up, but
wait, before you ask that question, I got a related question to something that he was saying earlier about the decisions or whatever of the person as they're going through their growth and maturation, positioning them in such a way that that's kind of what they bring to the table. Do you guys Thanks, babe. Do you guys feel like it matures you? I heard him say that he was 14, you know, when he got on and song, kind of was establishing himself and things like that. Do you feel like that helped to mature you?
No.
Oh, no, I'm gonna let somebody else answer that. But I mean, me personally, nah, I wouldn't say. Me personally, nah, I wouldn't say that's a level of maturity. I just use the term rites of passage, meaning that it's a process. It's a process of finding your way, finding my way. Rather, I can't speak about everybody else, but keeping it on the eye, it's just a rite of passage. It's just a journey, and we all have to make choices to learn. What's right at that time. I was just discovering myself. And like I said, based on my background and experience of me coming.
Hey, Reed, I don't mean to mute you, bro, but you say you was gonna let somebody else answer. he just started all over again.
No,
No.
my bad. No.
I got a quick no. Nobody else wants to answer?
Hey, y'all answer.
What's the question?
Does it make you mature?
Do you guys feel like those experiences? Do you feel like those experiences where you were engaged in sex early, you were learning the ins and outs of sex, and the things, a part of the thing that most people would consider, hey, this is what grown people do. Do you feel like that was something that contributed to your maturation? Because he mentioned rites of passage. Typically, rites of passage are moving into a different level because you did a particular thing. So
I have to say no. Because when I look back at my high school experience, a lot of the things that you did was out of peer pressure as well too. Right? So to be honest, for me, not until college, when you're you have more freedom and you're branching out, that's when you get to realize who you are and what your potential is, as opposed to high school where you're just kind of gaining friends and doing what friends do.
Yep. Yeah, my situation, it was different. It wasn't because I was trying to, do that rites of passage thing. It was because I was with my high school sweetheart and we just decided to do it. Because at that time we was thinking that we was going to do this thing, then we was going to go to college together, then we was going to get married and all that stuff there. So we just did it.
Well, I think that's where I'm getting confused on the topic, because what are you bringing to the table? I didn't associate that to being as a minor or a youngster. I'm thinking of someone older. So when the gentleman said that bring something to the table at 14 is having sex unprotected, I was like, ooh, well, I wasn't bringing nothing to the table then. Because I wasn't having sex or doing nothing back then. So I was like,
to the table. We were staying at home with our parents.
Yeah, the only thing we was bringing to the table at 14 was our homework.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I wasn't actually saying it like that. I was just saying like more or less like the decisions that could be, made during those times when we begin to take a step, it can have an effect on us, but it's still something to me. It was just my definition of bringing something to the table once an individual decides to take a plunge and accept responsibility for their actions, in terms of having a direction, where they want to go or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it wasn't.
I wasn't taking that away from you. You were using words. I wasn't taking it away. You were using words, so I was listening, and I was thinking about that for a second, and it actually made me think like, okay, it was kind of like, oh wow, because I have a 14-year-old, so I was like, oh no, let me go ask her. Will she bring it to the table?
But a 14-year-old now, and considerably. I mean, I was raised in the 70s. That's when I was 14. I graduated from high school. So, and I went to college then. So it's a lot different, from right now. I mean, I have one of my kids he was 14 almost 15 when he graduated high school. So me going to college at that point and then him going to college at that point are also two very different things, because that was in the 90s for him. You see what I'm saying? So life looked a lot different. You know what I'm saying? So, and I can say that he was pretty mature, but he wasn't having sex either in high school. Neither was I. I mean, people were doing things. I think sex is a very old thing, but it just depends on where you are and what you're thinking about. And I do think that peer pressure is something that helps to mature you. You either give in or you overcome, you know, and the thing is, I think that helps to define you and where you're going, even at that stage of life.
All right.
I gave in and I overcame.
You gave in and you came.
I did. I overcame.
Came over something.
Multiple
Possibly.
times.
You're wild.
Well, since we're going in this direction, now here's another question I want to ask the panel. Now, as y'all know, Kevin Samuels, he is preaching a lot about the traditional family due to his upbringing, and he goes against the modern family. So
he was brought up gay.
Leave Kevin alone, man. But how do y'all feel about this? Do y'all feel that we need to continue to subscribe to the traditional role, or is the modern role is more beneficial due to the generation right now?
It's whatever fits that particular man and the situation he wants to have with that woman.
I would say the traditional.
I'm gonna be a little ignorant.
I would say we need to be consistent with the traditional role, because it's been working for so many centuries. You know what I mean?
I've been working for everybody.
Here's one thing I gotta add. When Kevin Samuels talks about the traditional role, all of us, if you're in your 30s or 20s or even 40s, you guys think he's talking about you guys. He's not. He's talking about 50-year-olds. His message is that 50-year-olds should be wifing up women in their 20s, because you reach your financial height in your 50s, so you are more likely able to take care of a woman at that point in your life where she can stop working and actually just be a stay-at-home mother, so to speak. That's what he advocates. I don't know if people understand that part about him wanting to date younger women.
Nah, he
ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you're 50 years old, you're physically fit, you got the bread, yo, go bag yourself a 20-year-old.
For what?
I'm a high five that old head. We call those silver fox.
Yeah, on some Russell Simmons stuff. Yeah, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? If you can afford it and your money is up like that, why not? You know what I'm saying?
And that piggybacks on the whole question that the urban dictionary. Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, what's the point of her bringing something to the table if he's a 50-year-old man?
Like, do you guys think that that's a normal age of maturation for a man?
I'm
50.
Yes.
It's about the early 40s.
It's the media makes it look bad. You know what I mean?
What media makes it look bad? Like, do you feel like
mainstream media? Anytime an old head go bag a young chick, yo, they get bashed for that. You know what I'm saying?
No, they don't. No, they do not.
But here's the question: Is anybody here in their 50s?
Hold up.
Sorry.
No, let he said the question was posed.
It's cutting out for me.
You said the man said, is anybody here in their 50s? That's the question, because he's saying if anybody here is in their 50s, then maybe they can answer it according to Samuel's theory in terms of the relationship difference. Am I correct?
There's that part, but then the other part is, if none of us are in our 50s, then does that mean we're not ready? We had nothing to
According
offer.
to Kevin Samuels, yes.
Exactly, and to me, that's flawed.
So yeah, so that's what I'm asking you guys. Do you feel like that's a proper age of maturation as a male? I'm curious about that because
No.
I
I
don't
don't know
agree
about
with none of this.
maturation,
Yo,
but
hold
financial
on.
stride.
What
You hold
50
on,
year
hold on, hold on.
What 50-year-old is gonna holler? What 50-year-old male that got bread is gonna holler at a 50-year-old woman?
Well, it's crazy.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
have to
to
meet you,
answer the
Russ.
doctor's question, I don't think it's maturation, but I think men are hitting their financial peak or stride right around 50.
I ain't
they
gonna
should have
lie.
been doing that a long time ago, sweetheart. At 50, you should be retiring or retired already, at least from first one
I don't.
occupation.
Again,
I
we're
don't
talking about
subscribe
real
to
life
that.
though.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, but
talking about
real
real
life.
life. I mean, I can hand the phone over to a man that's in his
That's
50s that can
We
explain
you
what that really looks like for a real
But
man.
you
Kevin
can't say
Samuels
that
doesn't
because
do that.
most people aren't even retiring at 65 anymore. They're working beyond that.
thank you.
You
So
can't even
working
say. You
beyond
can't even
that,
say.
yeah,
You
working
can't even
beyond
say.
that doesn't mean that financially you haven't reached that peak. I think that if you look at the history of Kevin Samuels' finances and you're doing a comparative analysis of men that were black in his age group that were in the different areas of their focus, that they went to college for but graduated instead of dropped out. If you looked at that, there's a lot of black successful men that was making way more than what he tapped out at making 38,000. So it's not uncommon for black men in general, to reach their age of financial maturation at an acceptable rate. I think that it just depends on what you consider to be goals and what you look at. Kevin Samuels is a person that's manipulating numbers, making people feel like, hey, 6 figures is a lot of money, and that's what everybody's striving for. That's what's required. He made one assessment that 72,000 was the requirement of 2 incomes to be able to be stable yesterday on the show and run, your household or whatever. And I guess that's reasonable for somebody out there, right? And that's pretty much the vast majority of society. Between 50 and 70 grand, they can be pretty set, have everything they need, live very comfortably out if they're not trying to live outside of
Yeah, I
their
guess
means.
it depends on where they're living. But the thing is, a lot of people are working beyond 65, not by choice. It's because they have to. They still got bills. They still got debt they have to pay, right? So
These
it's
are people
different.
who are uneducated though.
But only
No.
5.5% of Americans make 6 figures, so it's not as common as you make it seem.
So
Exactly. And the thing is, it's not just black people. It's all races are struggling financially.
That's Americans.
so
5.4% of Americans make 6 figures.
So that's being calculated based off of not their gross income, but what comes out after taxes. That's what they draw that data off of, by the way.
It's
So if you're
still
paying
less
taxes
than.
on the money that you're making, it's
It's
quite
still
often. I know a lot
5%
of
of the
people,
American public that makes six
but it's
figures, though.
but it's not. So if you're listening, you might learn something.
So
So
It's
then,
still not
if
as
you're
high as you
making
want
a
to make
hundred
it seem.
thousand,
I don't know what numbers you add to it. You may get to 10. It's still not a high percentage.
yeah.
so so if you make 100 grand and your 100 grand is taxed, the moment it's taxed, it takes you out of the 6 figure range. So that's not a fair assessment to find out what it is that vast majority of Americans is bringing in, first of all. So if you're looking at that by itself, it's just not going to be reliable. If you're looking at a person that's making well into the 6 figures, that would be a good comparative analysis. And it's well over 5%, not pre-coronavirus. Let's put it that way.
But hold on.
COVID
What?
is a component.
How much money do you need to make in order to be considered the 1%? Because I thought that was 250,000
Hold up.
Mm-mm.
Hold up.
Well, they say 100. They say $100,000.
for the
Kevin Samuels.
1%.
I'm going off of Kevin Samuels'
Oh, you going
conversation
over
with
Kevin?
several males.
You
Well, forget
going
about
over
I've
Kevin's.
had
Kevin?
a chance to listen.
forget what Kevin sounds for a second, but generally speaking, from what I understand, the 1% is 250,000 and up. You're in the 1 percentile.
Mm-hmm. Now, when we're talking about just to make 6 figures, just to be comfortable, just to meet what this guy says is goals for the vast majority of people. And you don't need 6 figures to retire comfortably. I keep hearing people say that, but the reality is several people are retired and quite comfortably, and they're retired from the military. They've never worked again, and their house is paid off, because these are things that, when I say maturation is what people bring to the table. So if you're financially irresponsible during the time that you're working and you're not saving, you're not putting away adequate savings to make sure that you have a nest egg to sit on after your retirement, because if you're retiring appropriately, you should be working for 20 to 30 years. Your house should be paid off in 20 to 30 years, if not doing a 15-year mortgage.
But do you agree?
I'm refinancing.
Here's the thing. Do you agree that back in the day,
I'm not saving nothing. I spend my money.
But here's the thing.
That's the reason why people here in America don't retire or retire comfortably at all, because these are the things that are on their minds while they're living life. They're living life and spending the money that they're earning instead of living life.
I disagree.
Putting their money to the side and investing.
Here's why I disagree. Because when you look at all the people that are we look at the people who are 65 now. If you go back to when they're in their 20s or in their 30s, you have to keep in mind that the cost of living has increased steadily. Inflation has increased steadily, but people's wages have not kept up since the 80s. So although those people who were young back then were able to make financial decisions that are responsible and to save and to buy their house that was cheap, when you look at the people in this generation who are working, they can't make ends meet. And it's not because they're struggling or making bad decisions, because the cost of living is increasing a lot higher, a lot faster than the wages or the salary are. It's nothing to do with bad choices all the time. It's also the circumstances based on the economics.
Not necessarily bad choices, because there's no such thing as necessarily a bad choice when you think about what you're deciding to do for yourself. It's about doing the things that's not conducive to what you feel like is your outcome. So for you, what do you think contributes to a person meeting financially stable goals? Like when they decide to buy a house, how much house should they be buying? What do you think that should be contingent upon?
Well, again, it's based on your income that you bring in, and it's based also on what you feel you could afford going forward. There's a lot of factors that come into play when it comes to buying a house, and there's a lot of people that are house poor as well too, right? You have to look at what type of mortgage you're getting, whether if it's an FHA mortgage or whether it's the conventional one. There's many factors.
Anybody else with a different answer?
Nah, he's right. I mean, when you purchase a house, your goal is to pay most of the principal than the interest, because a lot of suckers, they sign these contracts, they pay more interest than the actual principal towards a house. So I definitely feel all part of my presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you think it should be based off of how much money you have available as well. So anybody else with a different answer?
Yeah, but you haven't addressed what you haven't addressed what I said as far as the wages and salary not keeping up with the cost of living and inflation.
Right. Yeah, because they just boosted up minimum wage not too long ago, and they was beefing about that for a minute. They said, "Yo, minimum wage, the price of the dollar is increasing, and the minimum wage is still the same."
$15 in New York, I mean.
Yeah,
that's
they
crazy.
just boosted it.
Okay,
and you know what that means? You know what that means? That means small businesses can't even stay up to par in New York now, because the small businesses can't keep up with those kind of wages.
That's a fact.
They got illegal workers working out in the back.
Yo, they even on the real, they even arguing about boosting up the program money in prison systems, because they saying like, yo, the way the economy is going up, the way it's shifting, the they talking about, yo, it might be a riot in prisons because their money is not changing with the economy, and
Let
they
me
got to pay commissary. Commissary's going
so
up.
Katie, what are you talking about in that order?
I heard about that, son. Like, yo, if you do is big, you come out
Yeah,
in debt off rent
that's the
because
truth.
whatever dough you making in prison is not keeping up whatever payments you got to keep up while you're inside.
Mhm.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Okay, so
That's the
Katie made
truth.
a more what we call a realistic answer for when you're buying a house. One of the number one reasons people find themselves in debt and hyperextended is because when they're buying a house, you guys are looking at very much like the things you talked about. So how much money you have and how much you qualify for. Though none of those things are essential in the part. Exactly. So the thing is with, I don't know if somebody just failed to give you guys that kind of financial advice or directions as parents and grandparents or what, but when you're buying a house, the first thing you're looking at is how much house do you need? So how many kids do you have? How do you plan to have, etc. Before you start to the financial planning part, you need to know how much you're looking for as far as like how much house, how many bedrooms, what neighborhood you're trying to move into. How convenient is that neighborhood to where you're working and you kind of achieve stability, etc. And then you're not buying a house based off of what you qualify for. You should be buying a house based off of what you think is a fair deal for a house. And that should be something that you way overqualified for. So you need to be making 3 times what that house actually costs. That means bargaining. And
But
so if you're going to
Hold on.
can I stop
Can I,
you there for a second?
can I just say one real
sure,
quick?
Go ahead.
sure.
Is it also just real quick because I know the brother want to say something, but I'm going to say I know you mentioned a lot of factors, but
Mm-hmm.
also is one of the factors to consider is whether you're buying a house as a debt or a liability, a considerable fact.
Well, I think that in the end,
Can
that's
I?
what it boils down to. So whether or not it's going to be a debt and a liability is based off of your perspective of what's required in order for you to start looking for a house and then vet that house properly.
I want to ask you something because you said about
Can I interject real quick, just with a
Yeah, sure.
PSA for
Mm-hmm.
anybody that's first time home buyers that's going through this, look into your local states and go through the NACA program.
The knocker,
I don't know if anybody heard about the NACA program.
so spell it
NACA,
knocker like
NACA,
all right, NACA.
NACA, first home time,
Yeah,
NACA, first time home.
I
Excuse
thought
me.
we were talking about Kevin Samuels.
hold
I
on,
know,
hold
but
on.
I just wanted
Before,
to end. I just
hold on,
wanted to
hold on.
intercept
I
since
just
we're
want to say
talking
something.
about home buying. I just wanted to tell people about
You
that.
you
So
mentioned hello.
it's an educational. It's an educational workshop. So
okay.
Okay.
Hey,
You
Joy,
mentioned.
go ahead and drop that in the text so people know about it.
Yeah. Here's one thing. You mentioned you have to look into how much house you need and the neighborhood that you want to live in. Just to give you an example, when you look at Detroit and you look at Flint, Michigan, those were middle class neighborhoods, well-to-do neighborhoods where Black people bought in and bought houses in that area based on the automotives industry, right?
Right.
Well-to-do Black people. But since all the automotive places shut down, the neighborhoods pretty much tore down.
Right.
The neighborhoods became run down. The Black people who put all of their money into those houses, thinking that they would have equity and they could retire, they're underwater because now those neighborhoods are no longer prestigious. So even if you're thinking that I'm going to buy into a house based on the neighborhood at that time, you don't know what's going to come in the near future. You may be buying a house that's going to be a liability for you, even if you paid it off. Because there are neighborhoods in the States where people own the houses outright, and they can't even the amount that they would have to sell the house for if someone were to buy it, it's a liability, right? And they're stuck. So you can't always say based on the neighborhood that you're living in. Really, to be honest, the best way to determine what house to buy is based on how much money you could afford. If you can afford 20% of a down payment for the house, then understand that anything less than 20%, you're putting yourself at risk, because at that point, you would only qualify for certain types of mortgages, and those other
Your
types of
signal
mortgages,
is breaking up.
the economy shuts down. At that point, the interest rates go sky high, and you can't afford to pay those mortgages anymore. And that's what happened in 2008, 2009, where a lot of people, and they're saying that it was a majority of black people who were homeowners at that time, lost their homes. And that's what
Yeah,
happened to those
because
black
they
people. They
went off
lost their
of it.
wealth because they could not afford to pay the additional interest rates.
But see, that's the thing. They're in those black people's mind, that system that you just spoke about. That's what they went off of. How much house can I afford? How do you think they know what they can afford? They go off the numbers that the bank presents. The bank presents those numbers for a reason. Right, and they inflate those numbers a tremendous amount. So I had a financial advisor from Edward Jones come on and do a show for my followers about a couple of years ago, because that's who I use to manage my portfolios. And I know that a lot of people can't afford that financial advice. That's one of the things that he talked about. So I think knowledge, wealth of knowledge from people that have built wealth and that have done it very successfully and put a lot less in it. I think that's the way you succeed. Exactly. But I think that these young people, I think the vast majority of people now, you guys have an idea or a concept that's not realistic, because that's what the banks, the financial institution, the lending institutions have sold you on. And so you gotta get out there and you gotta learn the ins and outs, especially when it comes to real estate. I mean, I'm a person that owns over 65 properties total. So, and
Off of
I've
what
had no
leverage?
issues. I've had no issues through the financial hardships of the United States or anything, but you got to know how to make your money. You got to know what to invest in. If you go to zoning and planning meetings and committee meetings and you know where these neighborhoods are going or growing, you know what's already there. People have invested. You make your investments and things like that as far as the plans and layouts. You come up just like they do.
Are those investment properties?
Those were properties that I purchased because I was living in Finland at the time, didn't figure out, where we wanted to live. And over the course of years, we had more kids, expanded our family, things like that. So over the course of about 30 years, we acquired different properties. We would come here to America, we would be in a different place, decide, okay, well, yeah, we don't want to live here when I do decide to retire. So let's look somewhere else. We look somewhere else. We'd find some really, really good opportunities, real estate opportunities. And my husband was just really good at that. He has a good eye for, selecting properties that are going to benefit us in the end. So we'd, attend a couple of meetings, figure out where they're going.
So
We
it's
get plans and
foreclosures?
no.
Okay.
Um, I think the vast majority of them are new construction, because he learned over the course of us searching that we had an idea for our properties that most construction companies didn't already have plans for, because of course I'm Finnish American, so some of the ways you want your house to be built, they aren't already, out there like
Finland
that. And I
American.
didn't want those very, very tiny rooms when they started making those tiny rooms. So we would pretty much submit our plans and we buy the land, and we actually started coming out way cheaper, way cheaper. One of the houses was valued at $1.3 million, and we didn't invest that much, not even close to that much in building the property, maybe 60, 70 grand in building material.
So you buy the land and then you build a house on your own accord, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I had it built. We have a lot of connections. But so that's the
Okay.
thing. Like when you're in this thing, that's why you go into these meetings because so lots of people, lots of opportunities for you to connect with people, contractors that build the houses and things like that have these contracts for these larger now you're dealing with subdivision contracts.
So Doc, you telling me you a multi-millionaire? That's what you telling me?
we're pretty well off.
Answer the question.
Well, she did say we. She said we.
I wanted her to answer the question, but I also heard you say something about your nationality, ma'am. You said you was what kind of American?
Finnish American. I'm from Finland.
You said Latin American? You said Latin American? Finland?
Finnish.
Mm-hmm.
Northern England. So okay. That's unique.
I don't even understand. She's from Finland?
Yeah.
As in Swedish? You're Scandinavian?
Scandinavian? Northern England, Finland.
Finland's not Northern England.
Yeah.
Finland is Northern England?
No.
It is.
I gotta speak to this. I'm gonna speak to this lady because I got a person I stay in contact with from England. She got like a TV show. But listen, you a black woman from Finland, England?
Well, we don't have race in Finland, but I'm Finnish American. My mother is American. My father is Finnish. I was raised there.
Norway, Sweden, and Finland are connected. The UK is completely separate from that area.
That's unique.
If you look at the history of the founding of our country, we were in Northern England first before we vied for independence from the UK, which was considered British colony then. Yeah.
I'm planning on taking a Mediterranean cruise. Where should I go?
Why, Dennis? Why?
Damn, Dennis. Damn it, man. Damn it, man.
I guess my favorite vacation spot is probably Bulgaria, near the Black Sea, that area.
So how long have you been a United States citizen?
I've been a citizen officially for about 40, 43, 44 years.
Hold on, is your husband white?
Does it matter if my husband is white?
Okay. Thank you.
No, I mean it does matter. It does matter. According to houses, yeah, the value. They say that basically the appraisal of houses does play a part in terms of the racial. The race plays a part in the appraisal of houses in America. So I think that is an excellent question that he asked you, because it's been proven that race, whether you're married to a white person or whether a black person is married to a white person, that has an effect on the appraisal of their property. So can you answer that question? Are you married to a Caucasian or European? Is he European?
I object. She doesn't have to answer that question.
Oh, okay.
I answered the question already, though.
What did you say? Did you say yeah?
I said
Shut
no.
the fuck up.
Okay.
That's a personal question. I don't really think that's any of our business.
Right, but no.
Man with the assist.
No, I don't think it is personal. I don't think I think it's an excellent question. Because
I just asked because of the Finland connection.
That's the only reason why. It's like a person saying that they from Canada, but they saying they French Canadian. You want to ask the question, especially it's just a question. It's a race question. I mean,
well, I think that a lot of people, have their experiences, and I take nothing from nobody's experiences. But when it comes to doing business here in America, I've not really had any pushback in doing business here in America. So.
But you do business with your husband?
No, not all my business is with my husband. My husband has his separate thing, and
that's
I have
fine.
my separate thing. Yeah.
This is the same Dr. Jefferson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No. I mean, that's very interesting. You know, it's interesting. We talking about race, and but we're really, this is not even a topic about race. This is
It's really
pertaining to
about
what
Yep.
people are bringing to the table. So, but it was just interesting in terms of like when, you know, it was an interesting question because you said you was from Finland, and honestly speaking, I had already just was assuming. I didn't realize that you traveled so far. You know, I thought you was, you know, Americans, you know, American
well,
soil, you know.
Yeah, Reed. But
I live
we
on
are very,
campus, but I
yeah,
feel
Reed,
like
we're
it's
very diverse on this panel.
Oh, okay, I got you. I'm with you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think diversity is excellent. It's a good thing.
But Dr. Jefferson, to be honest, you still didn't really answer part of my present question. Kind of
what
still danced around it.
what
His
other
question,
question he asked?
the question that he asked you
The
earlier.
salary.
Yeah.
What about the salary again?
The salaries are not, they're not keeping up with inflation and also with the cost
I
of
said
living.
agree.
So
I agree with that part, but that's why I said that I agreed with that part. But I said that when you're looking for affordability in a house, you can't be looking for what the bank has conditioned you that okay you qualify for because the bank is conditioned in a certain way. That's why I mentioned Trent, you know, Edward Jones, because at the end of the day you have to have, I understand that a lot of people don't value financial planners and things like that, but these people are in their field for a reason, you know, and
yeah, but
they
I
can
just
they can help you get ahead with
I
the idea of
disagree.
what the bank is supposed to be doing. What their
I
job is to make money.
I disagree because when you look at back 20, 30 years ago, the banks didn't have all of these quote unquote products that they're pushing to people now, right? With the FHA loans and the high interest loans. And the reason why they have all these products that they're selling to people in this generation, because they can't afford the standard conventional way. So they try to fudge the numbers to get people who normally wouldn't be able to afford a house to get them into the market to get their products and buy their products, thinking that they actually own a home when really they're just renting from the bank, right? So
Okay, so right, so
They're
that's what I'm
actually,
saying.
matter of fact, they're actually waiting for you to fail and your house
and
go on foreclosure. That's the
yeah,
hustle.
yeah, that's exactly what happened in 2008. They knew that these people that were buying these homes based on those mortgages, they knew that they're going to default.
So I think what you're saying the same thing that I'm saying. So, but the thing, your mindset is affordability is what you qualify for based on income. One of the people that is viewing that commented, she mentioned that you should be looking at how many kids you have because how many kids you have is and because that's an important portion of it because it tells you how many rooms do we need. So now when people buy houses, they don't buy houses based off of what they need. People buy houses based off of what the financial institution has said that they can afford. So affordability is meant to put you in a bind. If you purchase your home smarter, you look at what is it that I need, and based off of what your needs are, you go off of minimum necessities. But especially with your first home shouldn't be you shouldn't be going out there, even if you make $100,000, $200,000. You shouldn't be going out there with the idea that okay, I'm just gonna go and buy this $1 million house because this is gonna be an easy mortgage. You should be going out there saying, okay, what property can I purchase right now to build credit and equity? I'm going to purchase because that means that you should have a significant amount in savings. You probably could afford it outright, but there is a method to the madness. Right.
Okay, in
But you
I'm
speaking
in
of
Ca- I'm
somebody
in
that's making a doctor's income. You know what I mean? What if you a regular 9 to 5 average Joe? You're not gonna be able to save and put up all that
He's
money away with the
the
cost of living
person that
nowadays.
was the regular average Joe at the time is sitting next to me and he's agreeing. I can
okay,
hand the phone over to him and he can talk to you guys. He's almost 62, so
but let me say something.
Is
Where
that
where
your
I am in
husband?
where
That's what's up.
Right.
That's what's up.
And he's a black man, so he can and he's never had to worry about housing crisis falling and failing him and his experiences purchasing homes. So when we speak from we've done this successfully, not
Are
theoretically.
You talking about your husband or somebody else?
Goodness, man, this guy said personal questions. Yes.
Now, see, that's personal right there. That's definitely
Yeah,
personal.
that's personal. Who's next to
That's
you?
You
Are
said the
you
man next
cheating?
to you. I was just trying to figure out who you were speaking about.
Yeah.
My bad.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter as long as they providing some information.
So Dr. Jefferson, I thought that it was one and the same though. That when you go and shop for a home, do you look for the house to be within your income level range, and also you look to see what type of rooms you need as well. So it's one and the same.
It's almost one and the same, but it's really not. So the first thing, that's why you ever notice the the process that they go through when they start showing you homes.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of people in my family that are in real estate right now for this reason. But so their process is meant to set your mindset up first. And they're meant to what they're trying to do is show you something that is affordability wise, it's outside of your range. And I know that a lot of people really think that real estate, professionals are working in your best interest and all that good. Exactly. Right. But I know you guys think that, and think what you want to think. Move how you want to move. It's your money, it's your life.
I think you should give us the insight. This
Right.
is financial tips. This is
They
because
have to make money, okay? And so they already have when you hear them say, okay, I got a couple of banks that I work with or whatever, that's saying this, I'm going to get a kickback from everything in the real estate industry is about financed profit,
Mhm.
right? So and that is one good contention too, babe. So you don't want to get a real estate agent because you want to get a broker because they stand to benefit less off of your purchase. So you're looking at who has a vetted interest. Banks have an interest of making money. So yeah, not even just that, but also on the flipping of your house. So if they sell you a house, if they qualify you for a house, and that house is based off of your income, your current income, flexible income, last 2 years of stability, they're not asking you to go back farther for a reason. They're trying to pull you in and let you know, hey, let's celebrate you. You qualify for this much house. So let's go looking, right? Right. You need to be looking for houses that are way below what they offer you. And when I say way below, you're going for houses that are 3 times cheaper than what they say you qualify for. Because the idea is for you to get a mortgage, to flip the conversation after the fact
They're upselling you.
and ask for a shorter mortgage and pay the house off faster. And so what that looks like is you can afford it even if the financial market crashes. If you know what I'm saying, you got to think about that. You got to think about things in the future. And
right,
the reality is if you go based off of your income, you're already setting yourself up for failure because that is the same formula that they're using to qualify you for.
right.
So you're going to be in over your head before you even really get in there good. And also you got to think about equity. Equity is what we call flexible income, multiple streams of income if you only have one at the time. And that's something that's going to continue to come in as residual without you even trying to move into renting out that property. So if you don't have to wait that 7 to 10 year period if you buy something that's way below what you can afford. Mm-hmm.
So
So
are you talking about in the perspective for a renter versus an actual mortgage?
so you'll have a mortgage, but regardless of whether you want to rent the house out or not, you always have a mortgage. But that's a potential. That's something that you want to think about, as you decide to. Can you guys hear him?
Yeah.
No. I didn't hear him.
I can hear.
Hold on, let me.
Oh,
I can't hear him.
Somebody.
Buy your company, you can't do it.
Exactly, because that's the purpose of it being an adjustable rate mortgage. Mm-hmm. Because that's what he was saying is
that
that's
militant?
one thing.
Yeah, I couldn't hear. He started talking. I only heard the last part, like the mumble last part.
So he said that the one thing that they sell Black people is the adjustable rate mortgage, and they tell you that you can flip it in 5 years. Refinancing is never a good thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then right, it'll never happen because it's going to adjust then, and so it's not in their interest to give you another loan to refinance you at that point because their idea is to make money. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly. So that's when inflation comes into play. Like part of my presence was mentioning, because that's the idea, to trap you into something that's not affordable once it adjusts to a higher rate so that they can get the house and then flip it.
Yeah, foreclosure. Either way, the bank is going to win on both sides.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, well, that's pretty interesting though.
Yeah,
some of it I knew about, and other parts of it, and it was brand new to me. But I appreciate you sharing your perspective about that, and also as well, Porter. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. But let's go back to the question that I asked earlier. But no, we're gonna take Kevin out here. Let me ask y'all this question. Which value do y'all subscribe to? Either the traditional value or the modern value?
A hybrid.
What is a hybrid?
In my opinion, my wife needs to work, right? She needs to contribute.
To me,
yo, you breaking up, Houston? You're breaking up.
He's back on mute. No, my wife needs to work. She needs to contribute. She won't be contributing 50%. I'll still contribute more, but she has to be in all the way as far as contributing financially. So that's different from their traditional where the guy is supposed to pay for everything.
Yeah, because a lot of women they're starting to want to subscribe to the traditional value in this modern day age. So is that valid for them to to subscribe to that, or is the modern more the better way due to where we're at right now?
Well, I mean, if most of us are making less than 6 figures, then, and if women are making more than they have before, then why would you want your woman to stop working? The way I always see it, if she brings in more money, which adds to our pot, and if she's also happy working and having her own career, then I don't see what the problem is with that. At the end of the day, whether she listens to me or not has nothing to do with the income. It has to do with the dynamics between her and I. Right?
That's what I'm talking about. It's all about making it work.
I can agree to that.
Hell yeah. That's why I don't believe in the traditional. I don't believe in the traditional based on those conclusions right there, because at the end of the day, it's all about what makes it work. Like whether she makes more, whether he makes more, it's all about what makes it work, man. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter how much you make if it's not productive. You know what I'm saying? There's a different type of social dynamics that go on. Like prime example, you have more women than men. So you got a lot of women that choose men based on different factors, based on looks, based on whether they work out or whether whatever the case may be. I mean, you got a lot of females that may actually spend money on a guy, based on the amount of time that they want to spend with the person, based on their needs. So I mean, it's so many factors on a level of social interaction that's involved that, I mean, me personally, I don't believe that in today's age that it fits a traditional mold, especially with the era that we're leading into as far as like computers and I mean robots and automation and things of that nature. I just think that more or less like it's more or less.
It's gonna get.
Yeah, I'm listening.
It's gonna get a lot worse. It's gonna get a lot worse for us in the future. With automation.
I'm hearing all kinds of stuff, man. You know what I mean? And yo, like, they talk about transhumanism and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All these COVID shots with technology inside of it. I mean, yo, this shit moving a little too quick on some sci-fi shit. You heard?
Yeah. And the way we interact with each other nowadays is not even. People don't even want people. A lot of people nowadays, it's hard to even get conversations. Like a platform like this, you're able to build and have a conversation. Most people outside of this, they're working through the computers. Like they saying certain things. You say if you present a proposal to them to say, yo, let's chat live. They like, nah, I don't do that. I don't. I don't. So it's like just crazy, man. Like, so I think that human contact has more value in the years to come, and people are interacting with one another possibly because
but yo, Pete, what's going on though with all this COVID situation? They trying to strip that shit away from us, man. You know what I
mean? Right.
And there's a reason for that too.
Yeah, because they can listen. One of the things I'll just share with y'all briefly is that there was a judicial district leader that ran. His name was William P. Smith, and pretty much, to make a long story short, he was arguing how public housing was going to be privatized, and a bill was presented during the COVID-19 pandemic for I believe HUD to privatize public housing, and they pretty much got wind of it. It came out, But to make a long story short, there was a lot of bills that were on the floor that were, looking to get passed during this time, during the pandemic, where a lot of things that were, policies and things of that nature were being discussed and voting, things being voted on while people were being in their homes, and not having contact. I mean, even the aspect of how people were unable to bury their loved ones and passing, it caused a major impact and change on how we interact with one another, man. It's just deep. It's never been experienced before. To not be able to see your loved one in the hospital and they're suffering from COVID-19, you can't touch them, you can't be there. The way they handled the bodies in terms of putting the bodies in the streets, putting them inside of the trucks and stuff like that, and freezers and burning the body. So it's just it was just deep, man.
And guess who was digging the ditches in New York? It was inmates.
Right. That's right.
So you already know what they're paying them, right?
Of course, they're getting slave wages. They're getting slave wages according to the 13th Amendment, which states that slavery is allowed when a person is incarcerated. And so it's definitely unique.
They're gonna enslave because they keep building more jails and schools. You know what I mean?
Right.
So why do you think? Why do you think that is, though?
I would say, Dr. Jefferson.
I said, why do you think that is though? And like why so do you guys think that they should not have had prisoners do this work? The manual labor?
Well, it's not whether or not they should have them do the work. It's why they're exploiting the cheap labor.
I don't think it's
They're
exploitation
in
when you
jail,
have a
sir. It's supposed to be an
so it's not
It is
unclenching
jail.
period.
exploitation because
It's exploitation.
so I don't think you guys really know how government works when you have an assistant program in place and you're giving out millions and trillions of dollars and you're already in a deficit. Like it's exactly. I don't know. It's just that's a whole nother conversation. That's way too much to
Yeah,
explain,
that
but
is a
it
whole
is what it
different
is.
conversation.
They have to pay to house the people, so they work for free to help
Right.
pay off the offset to the
So
taxpayers for paying to have them in there anyway.
Exactly.
do we pay to be motherfucking guinea pigs
Right.
When
for this fucking virus and this fucking vaccine?
that's why it's optional.
Well, not
The virus ain't optional.
yeah.
The
Well,
virus
listen.
is so the pandemic is a separate entity. The vaccination is an optional component for people, so
They
you
they
don't have
they
to
they
get it.
they are one and the same. The person who put it out there also had the vaccine already prepared to make that shit when they put this shit out.
Mm.
All this information is coming out. What you call
No, it's true.
what,
I
what you
think
call
no,
Okay,
I'm just
well,
saying.
Yep.
I think that we I think that
if that's what
I
you
think
believe.
I think we should just I think that should be another episode, but I want to let I mean, because I don't want to stray away, because technically that opens up a different topic. Um, and it's I was just saying, like, let's stay on topic, and then we just open it up for another time, because that's probably the hottest topic right now on social media, all throughout the news, is the COVID-19.
Man, we need to find that doctor and smash his fucking teeth down his fucking throat. That's what we need to do.
Who Fauci?
See, now I'm getting mad. Goddamn
Half a greater pod
You
now.
can't believe everything they put out. Everybody has their position. Everybody has their agenda, especially in the media. But I think, I think that when it comes to the question that you asked earlier, official urban therapist, I didn't hear enough responses from everybody as to what mindset they subscribe to. Did pardon my presence, like just his theory expand to the whole panel, or what? Like, what's going on? Oh, and the other question I had to ask, because I don't know who it was that started talking after him, but like, give me an idea. Tell me what you guys feel is traditional. What's the traditional balance? And who taught you that? Who did you learn what traditional marriage is suited in from? Like, who are those people that model that behavior for you in your life? And what does that look like to you?
I'll let someone else answer that.
I would say traditional, whether traditional or non-traditional, it's a paradigm. It's a social construct. It's taught from a European perspective. It's European concept. It's what governs the what they call the household, the marriage, the institution, the marriage, the institution of marriage. So I mean,
How many countries have you lived in,
Yeah,
Big
but
Shake? And
with this leftist,
it's not how many countries have you lived in?
I've only lived in America. I'm only from
Okay.
America. So, I mean, I'm a descendant of African slaves. I came from my people came from Africa to the South in America. After being on a being transferred around back and forth. So, and then I'm like fourth generation from migration of people that came from down south to New York City to get jobs and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm only familiar with America. So I can only speak on terms of American soil.
So why would you say that it's Eurocentric mindset of or conditional element? Like
Because
how many of
because
you who on here is from originally from the Caribbean? Anybody? Somebody? Anybody? Or
Not
anything?
originally.
I would
No.
say that
So there are a lot of places where there's a modern framework of the male providing or being the figurative leader of the household, not just in Europe. But
Well, I
so,
mean,
yeah, but we
The
know
Caribbean was ruled by the Caribbean is an extension of the UK
of
and
England.
France.
no,
Exactly.
no, no, it's not.
Yes, they are. What do
Actually,
you mean?
actually,
So
it
my
is. Yeah.
Yes, they are.
so my co-host is from the Caribbean. She was born and raised there, and she got her citizenship
What
later
part?
on as
What part
well.
of the Caribbean?
Tobago. But
To,
so,
to,
If all you gotta do is look at some of their flags, and you'll see the British flag embedded in it, right? So they
so the British, so that just because the colonial sailed and documented and made things or incorporated component of themselves doesn't mean that they started this whole world.
no,
Like,
I'm not
no,
saying they
no,
started
that's
the
a
whole
different
world,
conversation.
but
We ain't talking
but
about the
the
world.
but the system and the government and how those countries run their governments, it's the European way.
just
Right.
because a person adopts a certain principle doesn't mean that that's where it came from or that's who founded them either.
All right, let's get to the specifics. Who's the
So
who is the governing?
there are a lot of countries, there are a lot of cultures where the male is the figurative leader. The vast majority of every country outside of America is. That's why so many people want to come here and gain citizenship.
Yeah,
But
but
when you think about who models the behavior of what the traditional relationship looks like for you, those people are modeling their story. That's why history is his story. So somebody's experience. So traditional relationships looked a lot of different ways. As we were coming up being reared in the 60s and the 70s, we saw lots of different relationships that looked lots of different ways. And these were considered to be acceptable relationships.
wait.
So,
Hold on, doctor.
mhm.
When you make a general statement like that, honestly speaking, my question being specific is this: what we're not talking about that until we have to identify each individual and where and how they was affected. Like, how are you? What system do you follow in terms of how you see your household and marriage and your education? You get it from Finland, am I correct?
I'm Finnish American. My conditional elements personally, my culture is Finnish. So yeah, mine
All right then.
personally.
Your
Right.
culture is finished.
Yeah,
This is the same Dr. Jefferson.
it is. My first language is Finnish.
Dang.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
know.
so no, I mean, hey, that's all right. I
English
mean,
is my third language. So, but the person sitting next to me is very much Black American.
right. Okay. All right.
But if you look at traditional roles and you look at how work used to be, the men used to work because work back then was hard physical labor, and the women used to tend to everything else at home and whatnot. So no matter where you are in the world back then, I guess before the industrial ages, that was just how the rules were set up. I don't think it had anything to do with
No, not
European.
necessarily. So you still had engineers, you still had the field of psychology, you still had doctors, you still had scientists, still had lawyers. These were all positions. I know that, you young people think that you invented the world of moving forward, but all of those positions were very much in play in the 1920s even.
Where?
But
So
I'm talking about
everywhere,
prior to 1920s.
Nah.
everywhere. But that's what I'm saying.
You,
So your traditional mode, I can't speak to any of that before for you guys, because by the
I
time you
mean,
guys were born, those people had died off for you. I can speak to those people that
I
came
mean,
before for
I
me
mean,
because
most
we were
coaches,
raised with them.
most coaches did come from an African culture, and
but
from
we
what I
talk.
know, and from what
Excuse
I
me.
know, and from what
I
I
could.
know, that's on the walls as far as Osiris and I believe it's Isis. They the ones who started off as far as the you know what I'm saying the positions as far as in the relationships. You know what I'm saying? I believe before that time, women was doing a lot of things, and they wanted to separate of, you know what I'm saying, who was doing the farming and who was going to take care of the children. You know what I'm saying? So this
Well,
that system goes back thousands of years as far as what we're doing right now.
the system does go back thousands of years where the woman is not considered to be the tradesman or the brokerman, so the person responsible for bringing in the bulk of the finances. But that doesn't mean that just because she's not responsible for bringing it in, and bringing it in only means to be accounting for. So in various countries, women didn't have the right to work, to acquire funds, or anything, because women have always been deemed as property. If we look at in Italy, one of the main issues when I was coming up is there was still this lingering rumor about how women couldn't be in positions where they were the person that was responsible for bringing in the bulk of the income, and we came from a certain mindset for all people that are in Eurasia over there,
But I
that was
thought
the
you
same
was
with
I
the
thought you
women that were
was
poisoning their husbands and shit like that. But
I thought you was here for 43 years though.
I've had citizenship for 43 years, 43, 44 in America. I've lived in every country and I've traveled abroad. I was a medical doctor, epidemiology, infectious disease doctor. And that's what I did for the federal government here, which is how I gained citizenship primarily, um, without
So
restricted
you.
access.
So you like in the. So you like military involved or something like that?
I retired from that, transitioned to psychotherapy thereafter.
Well, I know one thing's for sure. In America, um, women's rights is not even 100 years old, and
Exactly.
so right.
So it doesn't
So
mean that women didn't bring it. What men sold anything, but seamstress were jobs. They
no, but
just were accounted for by the
we
men.
we know we're
Well,
not talking. No, see this, but this is hold on real quick. I just want to just I'm gonna let you speak. That's not the argument. That's
Hmm.
just like we're shifting. What we're talking about is the dominant ideology and the dominant paradigm that is conclusive in the family institutions, the train of thought in terms of marriage, and we're talking about how white women in America, like Susan B. Anthony's and the European counterparts of European men, set the bar and the culture for themselves, excluding black women here in America, because technically, during that time when they were speaking when white women were speaking about having a certain type of freedom, black women were still enslaved. So it was like they took the plight, or they took the leadership role in bringing forth the argument for all women to be free, knowing that black women would join on board because they all support one another. However, the patriarchal society that was set up in the households and the institutions all throughout America comes from a European philosophy, ideology, and principle that has been interwoven into the American culture here. So all I'm saying is that when we make a statement pertaining to women here in America, I'm speaking as a black man in America. I don't know about Finland and I don't know about other places, but I'm telling you the historical facts here in this homeland. In terms
That's
of
not
the
even
freedom,
safer here. Women's right movement was way after slavery was eradicated.
but the women's
So
right. I'm
white
not
men,
arguing with you. I'm not arguing.
right?
I'm telling you that what you're saying is correct, but the ideology, is a momentum and a drive that's based on European white women.
That don't
Black
make
women
sense. That don't make sense either, because Europeans don't have no real culture. They got all their culture from Africans.
We're talking about
Africans or Spanish Africans.
No, it does make sense, because women, if you're talking about the ruling culture in terms of America, white men and white women. We're not talking about we're talking about when black women and black men could not get married. When you look at the laws and you can study in
MoneyBoy, trade, MoneyBoy. Trade. Private jet flights overseas, dime pieces coming by the league. Piano witch playing with the keys. Waterfront chilling in Belize. Greenbacks, rack, blue cheese. Murder ain't came up in the street. Good dope, no price cheap. Pop pills, too high geek. Private jet flights overseas, dime pieces coming by the league. Piano witch playing with the keys. Waterfront chilling in Belize. Greenbacks, rack, blue cheese. Murder ain't came up in the street. Good dope, no price cheap. Pop pills, too high geek. Counting hundreds with my amigos. Blue water, frozen Sub-Zero. Hit a lick, flip it twice, break bread with my people. Who knock and look out the people? Clutching my desert eagle. Cock, aim, squeeze, trigger, empty clip and reload. Pints, pills, 2 kilo. Bitches coming in trio. Shaking all ass, beat the pot like Migos. Last second shot and one. Free throws, no Master P, but I'm looking for the free code. Pints, pills, 2 kilos. Bitches coming in trio. Shaking all ass, beat the pot like Migos. Last second shot and one. Free throws, no Master P, but I'm looking for the free code. Private jet flights overseas, dime pieces coming by the lead. Piano witch playing with the keys. Waterfront chilling in Belize. Greenbacks, rack, blue cheese. Murder ain't came up in the street. Good dope, no price cheap. Pop pills, too high geek. Private jet flights overseas, dime pieces coming by the lead. Piano witch playing with the keys. Waterfront chilling in Belize. Greenbacks, rack, blue cheese. Murder ain't came up in the street. Good dope, no price cheap. Pop pills, too high geek. Too high geek. Top floor, nosebleed seat. 4A, 4AB. Push star, got no key. MoneyBoy, Lou got said. Take a picture, paparazzi. Quaaludes, Bill Cosby. Rape a hoe, no, not me. Hashtag MB3. Primetime NBC. On lane, I do me. Dial on, I spit heat. Private jet flights overseas. Dime pieces coming by the lead. Piano witch playing with the keys. Waterfront chilling in Belize. Greenbacks, rack, blue cheese. Murder ain't came up in the street. Good dope, no price cheap. Pop pills, too high geek. Private jet flights overseas. Dime pieces coming by the three. Piano witch playing with the keys. Waterfront chilling in Belize. Greenbacks, rack, blue cheese. Murder ain't came up in the street. Good dope, no price cheap. Pop pills, too high geek.